Hollywood's self-inflicted wounds. This is part 2 of my interview with conservative comedian Michael Joyner. I do want to segue into, because you're not just a man of one talent either. We did talk about the acting, producing, all that stuff. So let's leave comedy for a minute and just see what you think about Hollywood, how it's going right now. Specifically, maybe why you left.
Why I left? Wouldn't pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Ben. I watched La La Land. What a beautiful film.
I mean, great.
Could have won the Oscar. Pandering, lost it the Oscar. I'll leave it at that.
You don't have to leave it. I mean, no, it was ridiculous. It drove me absolutely nuts. I am a dude that only likes action adventure movies. I loved a singing musical about two people falling in love because it was that beautiful, that well done. And you give it to Moonlight that no one liked, except it got traction when all of a sudden there was articles popping up about whitewashing in Hollywood and how that La La Land was somehow a whitewashing movie. So we need to support Moonlight about a gay African-American male living his life, when no one liked the movie until Trump was doing his thing. And then like, all right, La La Land is Trump and white people out of here. And literally that spun the entire thing. It was so frustrating.
You explained that perfectly. That's better than I could explain it. No, it really is. And here's the thing. I don't know about you, but when I listen to the music of La La Land, I'm almost in tears, because that's how I saw Hollywood as, man, you know, this is my dream. This is what I want to do. And now it's hard enough, Ben, as you know, it's hard enough making that trek, auditioning, learning your craft. Pounding the pavement out there, and then all the others, you know, all the competition. It's hard enough, but yet you and I, because of our political and or Christian beliefs, have to get blacklisted on top of it. And then if we don't get blacklisted and manage to get in there, we have to be careful what we say around our coworkers. It's unbelievable. So that dream is, I don't know what to think of that dream anymore. It's really a dream. It's like something like, unless something changes, I hardly want to do it, which is why I'm doing my own films, you know? As you and I know also, as working in faith-based films and conservatives do not discriminate. We'll hire the best person, no matter what you believe, as long as you do a great job. And quite frankly, I've done a lot of faith-based films. Liberals are more talented. They study their craft. From my experience, generally speaking, they study their craft. They do a great job. They're very creative and clever, and they work well for the most part. So I love working with them, and I work with them happily. But let someone on a regular Hollywood production find out what you believe, and oh man, you're shunned, you're talked about. Maybe we should get rid of him or her. And it's unbelievable. Why should that have anything to do with the performance that I'm going to give you? And I've managed to sneak in. I got a movie coming out where I played an awesome role called Attack of the Southern Fried Zombies. I play a Mississippi mayor of this town that gets attacked by zombies. I managed to sneak in on good people. They love me. They love my portrayal. But the thing is, they're liberal people. And I just don't know how much more I can do that, because they rather work with liberals, let's be honest. Not those people, but liberal people rather work with liberals.
It really is a bizarre situation, because like you said, I've worked on a lot of different sets. Not everyone obviously believes the same thing. And every time I hear a friend or coworker or whatever talking about how they're, you know, pro-choice or anti-Trump, it's like, okay, cool. Like no big deal. Like I've never seen the venom and vitriol in the past 2 years of, if you just believe a certain thing, you're an evil, horrible person that we are not going to want to work with at all. Like it's insane, the double standard, when all you want to do is be judged on the content of your character and your craft. And are you good enough? Not what do I think about being, pro-life or pro-choice? All of a sudden that dictates. But we do live in a subjective media where it's someone's opinion dictating whether you're good enough for a job. Like I grew up in sports where if you ran this time, you were that good. No one could say otherwise. But in this industry, it's someone's opinion of, well, maybe he's best for the role, maybe he's not. You know, not always the best actor or actress necessarily gets the role. And it's nice. I hope that more people realize this, and people can just, it's at least more brought to light to where the people that are just best for it will get the role. But you never know. Like I said, there's very few conservatives in Hollywood, and they're kind of band together in the little underground group. So.
And even the A-listers are a bit afraid to really be outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
John Voight and so on. I was in a class, the best class I was ever in Hollywood. Had some people who worked opposite Al Pacino, big work. I mean, big, not big names, but they've worked with the big names. And I had to audition for this class. I worked in this class. I loved it. It was in a theater setting, and an actor who named Sal, who worked in a lot of movies also, was the teacher. And you would get a 8-page script for $25, and he'd partner you with someone, and we'd go on stage and we'd read, and we respect each other, and we listen to the advice he gave us. And I was in there for like 3 months. People knew I was a Christian. They kind of knew I was a conservative. I always made sure to give the gay guys a big, tight hug, but I think I was afraid of whatever, catching something. Well, then the Prop 9 issue came up, and I remember Prop 9, where should we allow traditional, whatever it was.
Oh, the California one? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, traditional marriage or not. And so I got to class early, as I do. I was looking at my script, and they were talking about it. And I kept my mouth shut till they said, "Who in the world is for that?" And I thought, well, that's it. I said, "I'm for it. I'm Christian. I believe in traditional marriage." And it confused them. They wanted to say you're hateful, but my history said I'm not hateful. My history said I've treated all of you the same. I love you. I'll even hug you. I'll even work with you. I'll even laugh with you. But from then, it caused confusion in their liberal minds. We want to say that you're a hater, but we know you're not.
That's like the whole policy, or the whole idea of group politics, like where you can just, you lump people into a group instead of treating them as an individual, which is what the left always does. If you do this, it's just the identity politics of, okay, you must, if you disagree with this one thing, then you must be in this white, cisgender, straight male oppressive environment that's killing
Right.
us all. So it does break that down. And the only way it can happen is through individual relationships, because unfortunately the media is going to continue to press that over and over and over again. So we're only responsible for, our interactions, and, we're human beings that are going to fail all the time, but at least we can treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated. And then hopefully we can reach some real middle ground instead of the crazy left politics, because it tears everyone apart. Absolutely hate it.
It really does. Yeah.
I have a question too, just for you about what your thoughts on the Hollywood elite in general, because it feels like every time that they come on stage to get an award, it seems like they're taking the moral high ground, like they're somehow morally superior. Am I reading too much into that, or do you feel the same thing after you get to watch all that stuff?
You'd have to be blind not to see it. What happened to don't alienate the audience? What happened to don't alienate half of the world?
Half of the world. They're trying to.
You have a Netflix show. How could you be so presumptuous as to call me and millions of people an idiot and expect us to still tune into your show?
I know.
Your politics are so strong that you'd rather, and that's the first thing of comedy is don't alienate half the audience by presuming, putting in your beliefs, unless you're Bill Maher and who's showing up.
That's true. You can definitely pigeonhole to one specific area if you want to, but major movie stars, you're trying to get as many people in the box office as possible.
Yes, that's it.
It does. It blows my mind. Like it really does.
It's blindless. Like, it reminds me of, like you, I read the Bible, and the more I read about the Pharisees, the more I realize, especially radical liberal, is the same spirit. And what I mean is this: here's Jesus calling himself the Son of God, so they hate him. Well, then he rises someone from the dead, and instead of going away saying maybe he is the Son of God, they say, how can we kill this guy? What?
Oh my goodness.
So, we've proven it over and over. And here's what I say. Sean Hannity always tries to prove. He always uses this mantra. How come liberals don't get it? And I want to say, Sean, they get it. They suppress the truth. They get it. They suppress the truth. Remember that. They're not people who actually believe it's okay to take a little baby halfway out of a mother's womb and kill it. They don't really believe that. They suppress it because they have a wicked agenda, quite. And I'm talking about radical, because as you and I know, we have some good friends who, I know this sounds offensive, ignorantly believe. There's Christians who now ignorantly adhere to liberalism. And I want to say, here's what the Bible says. How do you line that up? And oftentimes they'll go, whoa, okay, I'll consider that. So different levels of liberalism. And whenever I speak of a liberal, I'm always talking about the most radical.
Far left.
They probably want you and I and Trump dead. And Twitter, gee, that's a shame. But inside with their friends, they'd be doing high fives and having tequila shots. Okay.
Yeah, the hypocrisy kind of showed out here when Harvey Weinstein, the guy that is on the side, like promoting in the DNC, giving money to the Clinton Foundation, being like, oh, I'm for women's rights, equality, being one of the like scummiest women abusing guys ever. And this is what's so funny when that happened too. I was like, the next guy is going to be, no, I said it should be Spacey, but I was like, I don't think it's going to happen because, you know, he's a homosexual man. He might get away with it. And that was the first thing he said. It was so, I had that conversation with my grandfather like 2 weeks before that happened. And the first thing he said is, yeah, I did this, but I'm gay. I was just like, can you be more, I'm in the ideology, protect me mindset. Harvey Weinstein, the first thing he said was, hey guys, you know, I did this and working myself, but I'm going to spend all my time now going for the NRA. So you better forgive me. I'm like, what? Like, it is crazy.
They know their audience. They know their audience.
And I do want to specify because, like, I have tons of friends, like you said, that are liberals. Liberals are, to me, are completely different than the left. Like liberals, basically, they, in general, believe that no, there should be some type of universal health care. We want this paid for. We want, you know, open immigration. We want less military. And so in their mind, it's going to make a better country. In my mind, that has never worked in the history of ever. And I know it sounds harsh to say, no, you need to earn what you get, but it's going to be easier for everyone if you take out the regulations and you become a man, you take care of yourself kind of thing and protect your borders and like the conservative mindset. Like we're going at it the same way. The left is basically to me like communist, socialist, destroy it all, blow the system, Bernie Sanders land. And so like, I can have a great conversation like, okay, this is going to be better for healthcare in the long run if we do this. But, you know, and do the counter argument. And they're like, well, we still should take care kind of thing and have a good conversation. But yeah, you can't really have a conversation with the ideology of the far left, in my opinion.
No, that's a good way to put it too.
All right, if you like this video and others like it, please consider becoming a premium member to The Rebel. That way you'll have first access to Pure Hollywood and the entire Rebel lineup.